Heads up, guys. We had a few technical difficulties this episode, so the audio quality is going to be a little off, but you're going to be able to hear both of us. Next episode will be back to normal. Thanks for listening. My name is Godswill Ugwa.
And I'm Josellie Rios.
And this is One Piece at a Time. We're your hosts, and in celebration of the One Piece anime's 20th anniversary, this podcast will explore each episode of this beloved franchise from the perspective of a seasoned One Piece fan and a first-time watcher.
We are social media producers at Funimation, and we can't wait to dive into this week's episodes. So join us on this adventure starting right now.
Now we are on podcast episode 13. Last podcast episode, which was episode 12, we went through anime episodes 88 through 95, where we finally got Tony Chopper on a crew, right?
Yes.
And then we finally made it Alabasta, and then we met Luffy's brother, Ace. And we got to see some of his powers, which is pretty cool.
Yes.
Yeah. And then, now we are traversing the land of Alabasta. We're getting to know why Vivi's so sad all the time, and seeing like what the Civil War is doing to people, and we're going through quite a few adventures as they travel to Ugwa, I believe, right? Yeah.
Yes, as they travel to Ugwa.
Yeah. So let's jump right into it. Episode 96, Eremalu, the City of Green, and the Kung-Fu Dugongs. Kung-Fu Dugongs. Oh my goodness. Okay. As I was watching this, I was like, I wonder if any of this is like weirding like Josellie out, because it's just sort of like, Dugongs of all things, huh?
Yeah. I actually didn't know what a dugong was.
Yeah.
Before episode.
I mean, to be honest, like I remember having that same question. I was like, what's a dugong? And it made me think of the Pokemon. I forgot what it's called. Dugong, I think. I think it is called Dugong. Yeah, there's a Pokemon called Seal, and then its evolution is Dugong.
Oh, that makes sense.
But it's just like a bigger seal with a horn on its head.
The Pokemon?
Yeah.
Interesting.
But I think a Dugong is that, actually.
Dugong is sort of like
you looked
a manatee.
It up?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Good.
Yeah, it looks like a seal. It's sort of in the family, I guess.
Okay.
But it's closely related to manatees. They sort of look like a manatee.
Okay. So now we got the opposite of that. I like how these ones looked. Like they, like I said, I'm usually immune to cute things. I usually am just sort of like, cool, that's cute. But I think if you add like a little bit of toughness to it, just like a drop or two, Powerpuff Girls, just a little drop toughness, right? And I'm like, okay, they're pretty cute, If you just give me a straight up cute thing where it's like, this thing can't fend for itself, I'm just like, man, nature will take care of that. I guess I am horrible.
Cute. They had like little shells and like a shell hat.
Yes, yeah, like now you mentioned it, I was like, yeah, their hat look like a hoodie in a way.
Yeah, they sort of look like they have like a turtle shell on their back, and then they have like the same shell.
Yeah. Like it made me think of a vest in a way, like these are some militant dugongs right here. And I like them, and then also, I like how they all look at Luffy, just like, oh my gosh, you're so cool, and I was like, all right, they're pretty cool.
Yeah,
they're pretty cool.
So at the beginning of this episode,
yeah, right, we just skipped right to the middle.
Right. Let's just talk about the dugongs.
Right, we can like whole episode just the dugongs.
We'll talk more about the dugongs.
Right.
So we sort of get like an intro to Alabasta, and we see that. Like, people are desperate because it doesn't rain. It's not raining. And the people go to the king, to ask for help and see how he can solve the situation. And he says, like, hey, like, there's nothing I can do. Like, I can't control the weather. But I can at least listen to you and share in your suffering.
Do you think that's a good thing or no?
Well, I don't know what to think.
Yeah.
I mean, at least we know that he's not... What I think is that the purpose of this part was to show that he is not being a bad ruler on purpose.
Yes.
As opposed to, let's say,
Wapol.
Wapol, exactly.
Yeah.
As opposed to someone like Wapol, he's not trying to screw his people over. So I think that's the purpose of this.
Yeah.
Then again,
do you think that's good?
To people suffering while you live in a castle.
True.
It's sort of okay.
Yeah, a little tone. Which I'm actually glad, because like when I first watched it, I was like, wow, he's such a good guy. But then it's like, wait, hold up. yeah, I mean, this place is still rich and you're eating good food, right? Eating pretty good, but everyone else sucks to be you, right?
And then again, we don't see his conditions either. Like,
yeah, we don't know if he's going hungry.
We don't see if he's going hungry or if he has like lots of water stored for himself. Like, I'm guessing no.
Yes.
Because if not, maybe we would have been shown that.
True. Although at the same time, I feel like it's sort of fair to think that in a way. I mean, he didn't like he definitely seems tired by it all.
Yeah.
You know, I like Vivi's dad, Cobra, but at the same time, it is like, is there more you can do? Just as you just asked right now, like, is there more that you could possibly do?
Yeah.
Oh well.
So we go back to the crew on the ship, and you know they're doing their usual shenanigans.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
We see Sanji running, you know, a tight kitchen.
Yes.
Usopp and Luffy being Usopp and Luffy.
Yeah.
Just playing with their food and washing dishes with mop water.
I know, right?
How does that make sense?
Yeah.
And Zoro's working out.
Yes.
With this huge, I don't know.
Yeah, barbell type of deal. Yeah,
like
yeah.
Barbell, and Chopper's
swinging it
below it so he can fan.
Getting
him.
the air fan, right? I was like, yeah.
So everybody's just being them.
Whoever they are, honestly, yeah, they're pretty goofy. I like like, I mean, I definitely could understand how Nami got sick from all the stress.
Yes.
Because I'm just like, whew. I was just thinking to myself, like, this whole arc that we just watched, I was like, man, Luffy is tough to deal with, you know? Like, I love Luffy, but go through a desert with this little boy right here. Right?
Yeah, he's definitely a handful.
Yes. Absolutely.
We'll see more about that. So Vivi sends Karoo to deliver a message to her father with information about Baroque works, you know, and her whereabouts, just telling him that she is with the Straw Hats and that they might help figure this whole thing out. So that he gets like a heads up. And then they reach the shore, and then we see the Dugongs.
Yay! And then Luffy, like, I remember Usopp tries to fight one, gets beaten up.
Yes.
Luffy beats one up, and it was like, oh, that was easy. And then they all love Luffy for some reason after that.
Vivi says that if you defeat one, then you become their master. So Luffy's like, their master? Okay. And then Luffy starts doing this whole kung fu routine.
Like,
and
punch.
He's like, sideways.
Right.
Punch,
like this.
And all of them are doing it, and it's so cute.
Yeah, so I was like, this is pretty nice, actually.
Yeah. And Chopper is translating. That is super
What would you think about
to
Chopper
me.
translating?
I wish it would have come in handy before.
Yes.
Especially with the rabbits.
Oh, yeah.
We could have used the translator then.
Honestly, right? That's a good point. I didn't even think of that. And I'm wondering if there's other animal situations that they probably could. I mean, maybe Shoo the dog, right? Way back in days, like, hey, we're not trying to mess with you. Oh, sorry, here's your key.
Yeah, exactly. But, hey, it's useful. At least we have it now.
Because, I mean, what if they didn't have it here, right?
So, they don't want Luffy to leave the Dugongs.
Yes.
Because now he's their master.
Yeah, and they would follow them around, right? Yeah. Like, that'd be bad.
Yeah, but they're sea creatures or water creatures, so they can't come with to the desert.
It's a desert of all things.
So, yeah, Chopper negotiates with them, gives them some food, and they agree to stay behind. So, what else happens? They reach the city of Yuba?
Yeah. I don't think... Did they make it to Yuba here? I don't think they made it to Yuba yet. They made it to, like, a different city where... Because Yuba is later on with the old man.
Okay, right.
Yeah. So, they made it to a different abandoned city where no one was there. It was just empty, and, like, there was this piercing wind that was going through it, and everyone thought it was, like, haunted or some enemy attack, but it's because everything was broken because of sandstorms that had been crossing through there, that it would make this howling sound. And then while they're there, actually, Vivi explained what started a lot of this problem, and even like the green powder that Luffy saw before that he ate and he burned, right, like a fool. So, it's like, who burns? You don't burn things that aren't yours. Oh, you know, like, even if you know it was criminal stuff, you know, it's like, all this cocaine's here, but I'm gonna burn it. What?
I'm first taste it.
I know, right? I'm gonna first taste it, If you see something in a bag that looks like powder, I don't, I'm even
Green
thinking
powder.
exactly like hell,
Doesn't look delicious.
No, like this manure, right? Like, yeah, like that's what I first thought. I was like, this looks like it belongs on the ground.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like it belongs for food consumption.
Oh, Luffy.
Even if it was, you don't know how to make it. I mean, I'm thinking about like a sort of powder, like a Nigerian culture. We have like powdered yams. Like so, it's which you can use with water to like make a full meal type of deal. But even then, I wouldn't eat just the dust of it.
Yeah.
You don't eat just flour.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that.
You use it to make something.
Exactly. So, and then you don't burn it like where it's like, I still think about that. Like when you brought that up, I was like, man, that actually makes me mad. But Vivi explained like how the dance powder was used and like how that started up this source of war because people's rain, like the regular rain that would come to a person's place, would get stolen if someone used dance powder. So it caused a lot of hardship for certain people and, started up warring factions, unfortunately, where like they never had this issue before. So here we see a city that was on the backhand of that, unfortunately. Like they got a lot of their water and resources stolen, and because it didn't rain there anymore, people had to move and abandon the city. Man.
Yeah, and then Vivi explains that her father was framed for it, sort of, because it always rained in the city, like in the capital where the king lived, because of the dance powder, and the king didn't know this. He thought it was just like
regular.
It rains here all the time.
Cool.
But shipment of the dance powder came in and I think it crashed.
Yes.
Right? It crashed in the city, like in the middle of the street.
Yes.
And everybody saw that somebody, and obviously everybody suspected the king.
Yes. But we get to see that this was a setup job.
Exactly.
Which I think was a pretty smart setup job, yeah. Like this whole arc, I would say, like I was like, wow, this is a pretty cool take. Usually it's just bad guys, good guys and bad guys. Arlong being a jerk, and we gotta stop that, right? Wapple being a jerk, so we gotta stop that. Here, yes, we have a jerk for sure, but it's going about it in a different way, like where it's like it's hard to prove wrongdoing and it's hard to prove innocent people are innocent.
Yeah,
I like it. So
we sort of get all of that introduction to Alabasta and the conflict in this first episode.
Yes. So, and we got quite a few to go through in this episode and also the next episode. It gets pretty heavy, I would say. So now we're on to episode 97, Adventure in the Country of Sand, the monsters that live in the scorching land. This episode made me wonder, like, would I want to be here or would I want to be in, if you only could choose like one or two places, like Drum Island, with Chopper, or here, Alabasta. Which one would you do?
Hard.
I still would do the desert, personally.
So?
Yes. Like, I just wouldn't be dumb like Luffy. Luffy, I think, caused a lot of the heartache here.
Yeah,
Whereas,
that's true.
For me, it's like, I still hate the cold, Like, I wouldn't want to do... Even though we got to see, like, some of the bad times that the crew had to go through, in this episode particularly, whereas, like, they didn't have enough water often, right? And then, like, during the night...
it's freezing.
Yeah, so I was just like, that sucks. Because, like, nothing... They explained pretty correctly, like, how nothing's able to keep the heat in, unfortunately. So you just get extremes the whole time. And then also, there's a lot of... dangerous creatures, we see a lot of scorpions, like land shrimp.
Desert shrimp.
Oh my gosh!
Calls it. He's like, it looks delicious.
Oh my gosh!
Cannot eat that.
The real land shrimp is the cockroach.
Ew.
That's a little knowledge for you.
Yeah, it's cold. Chopper is the only one who doesn't care because he's so fluffy.
And
the sandstorms also like it's not only like super hot or super cold weather, it's also like these
sandstorms,
weird sandstorms that just appear
covers everyone,
nowhere.
and covers everyone. Like we saw a lot of them wake up out of sand once one of the sandstorms hit.
Yeah,
man. I still would do that versus the cold.
You think so?
I think I would. If I had to choose one of the others, if I had to choose,
it's hard.
Super cold or super hot.
I mean, it depends on the circumstances.
Yes,
I guess.
circumstance.
Like if it's super cold outside, but I am inside, then I could do super cold. But if it's like I gotta go, and weather the elements, then definitely hot.
Okay, because for me, at least the way I think about it is like, say there's no AC, there's no technology, you just have to survive for a day outside.
Yeah, no, then I think I might do hot.
Yeah, because I'm like, bump the cold,
I
man.
can just find some shade.
Exactly,
maybe,
right?
Layer up.
Something, exactly.
Yeah.
Keep walking, right? Versus cold, what are you gonna do? You're reminded it's cold all the time. Like, yeah, you're reminded it's hot, but at the same time, I don't know. At least I can ignore the hot better, personally. Yeah. Anyways, this part right here cracked me up right after. So after they go through the sandstorm and they're walking some more, Luffy's like, "Hey everyone, let's do rock paper scissors to see who's gonna carry all the stuff. Winner carries everything."
The winner carries everything.
Oh my god.
That's.
And everyone's like, "No, Luffy is the other way." And then he's like, "Let's do it again." And it's funny how to me like everyone. Like, they're like, Luffy, that's a dumb idea. But then as soon as he's like, rock, paper, and everyone joins in. I wonder how that game went. But Luffy won, and he ended up carrying everything.
Oh,
golly.
Yeah. He doesn't get it. I'm like, you made up this game. What are you talking about?
At least he followed through with it. I was a little worried he's going to be like, this is a dumb game. I'm not going to do it anymore. But at the same time, made him complain more. And then after he did that, he was tired, complaining the whole way, right? And then he saw some rocks for shade, but when he went to the rocks for shade, he saw some birds.
Yeah, and the birds were injured, and he's like, "Oh no, poor birds." But it turned out, like, he went back.
He dropped the bags.
He dropped everything and went back to everybody, and he's like, "Come on."
I think to get a Chopper, especially.
Yeah, come, like, Chopper, come here. Like, these dudes need a doctor. And Vivi's like, "No, I should have mentioned this before." This a lot.
The whole episode. Yeah, that cracked me up.
I should have mentioned the weather. I should have mentioned.
I know, right? It was like,
mentioned the scorpions.
To be fair, like, I was like, like, she has a lot of her mind, but at the same time, I was like, come on now. And also for me, it cracked me up because it would start normal, like, oh yeah, there's scorpions in the desert. Oh yeah, there's sandstorms. Things you expect in a desert. And I'm like, oh yeah, and then it just get crazier and crazier. It's like, oh yeah, there's birds that are gonna trick you. Oh yeah, there's
bandit birds.
Right, like bandit birds. Oh my goodness.
I think she should have just made a presentation.
Yeah, right. Exactly. They're just walking in
everything that we're gonna encounter. Guys.
Right. Oh my goodness. Like
slide one.
But she's just sitting on the camel. You don't have anything better to do. We're just walking in a desert.
Yeah.
You probably should just go through your whole everything. We're not doing anything but walking. Well, that cracked me up. But yeah, the birds apparently stole everything, and they're real jerks. I was actually thinking that they would catch the birds, but they didn't.
They didn't. Luffy chases them, and ends up almost being eaten by a desert plant.
Oh yeah, I should have told you about that.
Yeah. And he also helps the camel from before was also about to get eaten by the plant.
Oh my goodness.
Turns out well because Luffy at least helped the camel, and it was the same camel.
And then luckily, which is also crazy to me, I thought this was like something was chasing them underground.
Yeah.
And we see that it was like a what do they call it?
Ascendora dragon.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, so yeah, they call it that. And it's this giant lizard.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Vivi's like, oh yeah, I should have told you that. And also they like people. It's like, oh my gosh. I'm glad that Usopp and Nami called her out. It's like,
yeah,
like you should have said all this.
Should have said all of it.
Right.
I mean, they spent a long time trying to get to Alabasta.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. You said. I think it's also another thing like where it's like you didn't do this like when we were on the boat just chilling.
Yeah.
We were on the boat chilling this whole time and we didn't know anything about Alabasta, but oh well.
Yeah. So, but the three main guys take care of the Sandora dragon, and now they have food.
Yay! I brought everyone dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god!
And then the camel sticks with them, but he says that he can only carry the girls because he's too macho. Which was hilarious to me. That a camel would describe himself as macho.
Right? It really made me think. I was like, are animals like this for real? Like, I wouldn't be surprised, but at the same time, it's like, wow, that's a lot.
I know they have to have some
preferences.
thoughts.
Yeah, right? Man. Well, let's move on. For all you collectors out there, episode of Sabo is now available on Blu-ray and DVD, so you can now watch it dubbed for the first time. Adventure of Nebulandia is also up for pre-order. It'll be coming out on June 18th, dubbed for the first time. These and all other episodes we talked about are available on home video at the Funimation shop on our website. So be sure to check those out and add One Piece to your shelf.
Episode 98. Enter the Desert Pirates, the men who live freely. Desert Pirates. Yay, theme pirates.
This episode cracked me up. I actually think this episode was a filler episode, actually. But I liked it a lot.
I liked it. I mean, it starts with Luffy getting high on cactus.
Oh my god. They did it, not us, all right? It's not us saying...
That's what they did.
Exactly.
I mean, that's what happened, guys.
Exactly.
I am not making this up.
I know, right?
I'm not saying anything that
Don't
did
do
not
drugs,
actually
kids.
happen.
I know, right?
Luffy ate a cactus.
Yes.
And it made him very high. He was hallucinating and fighting with people.
Oh my goodness.
And that happens. You cannot just eat stuff that you find
oh my goodness.
in the desert or in the jungle
Nope.
or anywhere. If you don't know what it is,
don't
not put
do
it in your mouth.
Absolutely, right?
I mean, he should have known this. He ate a devil fruit accidentally.
But it did good things for him, right?
Yeah, but no.
Yes, but also, this is Luffy we're talking about. He doesn't learn. He's just hungry. He does what he wants. Every time. Sleeps when he wants, eats what he wants. Actually, you're about to see a lot. It's going to get worse. Honestly, that's all I'll say. But yes, he got high. Was he running around here, right?
He was fighting Zoro. He was trying to fight Zoro.
Oh my
and
gosh.
Zoro's like, Luffy,
Yes.
cut it out.
Yes.
And then Zoro's like, okay, if you want it, then we're going to fight. But I think Nami stops
yes.
before the pirates
Which
come.
is good.
Yeah.
Poor Zoro. Also, Zoro, I think, has been like the G this whole time, you know? He's just been taking care of everybody. Yeah, I mean, he's been carrying Chopper when he gets overheated, right?
Yeah, oh my god, poor Chopper.
Yeah.
I had forgotten to mention that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's so tiny, so it's super hard for him to walk in the desert without getting tired.
And also, he's overheating, which is very fair.
Yeah, he's a deer, so he's covered in fur. He's having a hard time.
Yeah.
But Zoro carries him on his head, which is adorable.
Absolutely. Or in that little sled around us, we're like, this is really nice. Like, props to Zoro, you know? Like, I had a friend told me he didn't like Zoro, and I was like, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
I know. That, that's what I was wondering. I was like, as I'm rewatching it now, because he just started it up, and, like, he made it to episode 300 or so, and he says he doesn't really care for Zoro. But I'm watching, and I'm like, I don't understand. Zoro's been nothing but absolute G this whole time.
Yeah.
Absolute G. I feel like everyone's been on it. Oh, whatever. Anyways.
Sorry, Godswill's friends.
Yes. Just that one. Just the one. Because most people like Zoro. I like Zoro a lot. So now, as they're going, as Luffy's high, like they run into a ship that is sailing on the desert, like a legit wooden pirate ship, but it has umbrellas as sails, right?
Yep.
And they have tiny umbrellas as the hats too.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
With umbrellas, and they all have like umbrellas that close and open randomly.
I don't like the random part, but I was like, I would probably wear something like this, you know? Although I need a big version because my head's too big. Anyways, Luffy breaks their mast because, you know, that's what you do when you're high on desert cactus, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, he does it, and he breaks their mast, but luckily these guys aren't like jerks. They're just sort of like, oh well.
Yeah, exactly. They seem pretty fine, and other than the fact that they want to eat the camel.
I know everyone was like, let's eat the camel. Although,
and Luffy agrees.
You're right.
Luffy, that camel saves you from the dragon.
True, right? I know, right? Like, I was like, you're a jerk. And it's like, it's one thing. For me, is like there's a point where animals stop. Like, you can't say you're gonna eat Chopper. No. It's like that's horrible. Like, he's one of us. And even Eyelash right here, the name of the camel that Nami came up with. because like he has wonderful eyelashes. You can't eat them once you can understand them.
Yeah.
I think if you can understand,
communicate with
yeah,
it, you cannot eat it.
Absolutely. Like I was like, hold up, wait a minute. You know, usually I'm with you. You know, sure, if we need to survive, okay, someone has to go. It's the camel. I heard camel meat can be okay. I don't know, but you can't start talking to him. Mm-hmm. You can't eat Karoo.
No.
Yeah, absolutely not. Karoo has a hat.
Yes.
You can't
and
eat.
A little
and you're right. You could eat Karoo.
No.
When they say eat Chopper, especially like when they first met Chopper and like you see him walking and talking, I'm like, y'all, chill out. I know you're hungry, but holy crap. Anyways, yes, I agree with you. Like that was a knock for me. I was like, you can't say you're gonna eat this guy.
Yeah.
Anyways, Luffy gets over his predicament and he's like, I'm sorry, I can't pay you, but I'll see if I can go find some lumber for you. He's given like this sand sled.
Yes.
Where and Vivi offers to go with them because she knows how to use a sand sled, which is pretty cool. Yes.
And then this other girl that was with the pirates takes the other sled with one of the guys, and I think they're gonna serve as guides. Is the reason they go, right?
But
and then she does something super shady.
Absolutely.
Like Luffy and Vivi were on one sled. They get trapped in quicksand.
She pushes them into like the quicksand.
I didn't even notice.
Yeah, I think she did. Absolutely. Yeah, because like she like sideswiped them, which pushed them into like this quicksand area.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
So she was being shady from the beginning. And then the other guy asks her like if she's gonna help them, and she's like, no.
I was like, I don't care how mad you are. Like unless Vivi did like. That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, you pretty much killed them for what? Especially when they're about to go help you guys out. I mean, yeah, they did something bad to you guys originally to put you in this situation, but they offered to help. Why are you gonna go kill them now?
Yeah.
You're right. So, and if Luffy didn't have his powers, they would have died.
They would have died. Yeah, but Luffy stretches his arm and grabs onto the other sled, and they emerge super cool.
Yes.
Yeah, like. Flying with the sled.
Yes.
Luffy's laughing. Vivi's super cute.
Yes.
And I'm like.
And okay, cool.
Still cooler than you.
I know, right? Accidentally cooler. Yeah. I like it. Yeah, but it works out, and then we get to see why this girl is mad because she's apparently from one of these abandoned cities. Vivi met her when she was younger, and. You know, like that other girl still remembers that moment when they met when they were kids and sort of feels let down by the royalty because now everyone's in such dire straits. And she's wondering, like, if Vivi deserves to be a queen or a princess or royalty, if she's going to look out for her people or even care about the situation that's going on.
Yeah, because they never came back. When they needed it, so she's holding that grudge. And Vivi actually apologizes to her, although I don't think she needs to. Like Vivi was a kid, also. Like she has no control.
Absolutely not. Yeah, right.
Over anything that happens.
Vivi's like, sucks to suck.
Yeah, right.
Let's get this wood and then let's go back.
But she still apologized, which is, gives us something to think about her. Yes. She could have been like, I didn't do nothing to you. Be mad if you want.
You're right.
I don't care. That's what I would have said.
You're right.
You mad at me?
Oh, man.
Get cool.
Oh, man. Stay mad.
Pay my bills.
You're right. Well, technically I do. I pay you tax. Oh. Anyways, keep doing that, citizen. For me, I sort of like that she apologized. It definitely shows like a sort of care, but I think you're right. Like, whereas like it's unnecessary for her to apologize, especially as it's nothing that she can control. And then we go back to the pirates area. This part cracked me up.
Oh my God.
I didn't remember this part, so I was like, I rewound it like 3 times. I was like, did this really just happen?
Yeah, back with the pirates while they're waiting for the others to get the lumber. They need to fix the ship. Some bandits, desert bandits, attack. It doesn't last long, the attack, because the grand dung beetle.
Because like you see, like it looks like a small thing, like whereas like it's just going up a hill, you know. So you see a dung beetle rolling up his poop, right? And I was like, yeah, I've seen Discovery Channel, right? And then they're like, oh no, it's a grand dung beetle. I'm like, what does that mean? And then you see that it's actually a giant dung beetle, you know, a giant ball of poop, and then like it goes up a hill and then accidentally lets go of its poop, which is just like a building size, and it's like, oh my god,
and it rolls over.
I was like, that's legitimately the shittiest way to die.
Literally.
Yeah, like I mean, to get squished by it, and then like that the desert pirate tried to push it. He's like, I'll stop it, and like I was rooting for him. I was like, wow, I hope he washes his hands after this. And then he gets squished by this. Oh my gosh. And then, but luckily Zoro and Sanji are there, and they take care of business. I remember Zoro taking another guy's swords because he doesn't want to get his swords dirty.
You know what it does say.
Oh my gosh.
I want to cut that poop with my swords.
Oh my goodness. And then seeing Sanji, he kicked the pieces, and I remember seeing him rub his shoe on the wood. That scene, the unexpectedness of One Piece.
Yes. Yeah, because when the bandits first appeared, I was like, ooh, we're going to fight.
Yes.
But no, we didn't really.
Yeah, they're like, haha, you survived this day, but we'll come back to fight you again later on. I'm like, okay.
Okay.
Whatever.
Just leave.
Yeah,
you
right.
Got humiliated.
Y'all are weird. I mean, absolutely. That was divine intervention, I would say. Of all places it could have chose, it chose your hill, and you got squished. By what?
Luffy and the others get back with the supplies, and they fix the ship. And meanwhile, Ace has been facing some monsters too. How did Ace get separated? I don't remember.
They didn't really explain. He just got separated. Like I think like when they were chasing Luffy to, you know, because he was running off because he got high with the desert cactus. You know, I guess they left him behind, but at the same time, it was like, wait, how did they get split up here? Like, that doesn't make sense. But, like, it's one thing. Well, anyways, he got split up. So, he got split up, but luckily he found his way. Or, like, he found his way back to the rest of them with, he tamed the monsters that were in his way. So, he killed whatever he could and then forced the other things to make him do his work for him. So, it worked out. So, yeah, we reached the end of that episode. And also we have a new ending, but...
And there's a new ending.
Yes.
But I sort of don't remember what this ending is.
I don't either, honestly. Personally,
I feel like we've had so many...
They go too fast.
...endings in the last few episodes that I can't keep track.
Me neither.
Like, I can't... By the time a new ending comes up, I can't remember the last one because I was like... Wait.
Me neither, yeah, exactly. Like, I remember the last one, at least... I'm not sure if it was this one or if they changed it again within the podcast. But, They did one with Chopper as the focus. I think this was the one with Chopper as the focus, like where like he gets his nose pinched by a crab, like a hermit crab, and he has to put a Band-Aid on it. But like his adventures in Alabasta with his newfound friends, he's remembering like all the times before, but then now the times with his friends. So that's what happened here. Which is cute. It's a cute thing, but I'm like, I gotta go to the next episode. Sorry. I will watch it later on. And then I don't end up watching it. Oh, well.
Moving on to episode 99. False Fortitude. Camus, rebel soldier at heart.
So let me tell you something.
What?
When I first watched this, when I rewatched in college, because I watched it back in the day with Foxbox. When I first watched this episode actually made me cry.
Really?
Yeah, I know it's a little weird, but like when we get to it, I'll explain. But like,
is this a filler episode?
It is a filler episode. Yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah, I thought it was because it really.
It doesn't do too much for the overall story, but like for me, like it hit me hard. I don't know why. Anyways. Aww. Yeah,
you can tell. Okay, so let's go through it, and then you can tell me what part got you.
For sure.
So, the pirates take the crew as far as they can, and they find this village where there's some rebels or some people pretending to be rebels.
Yes. So Ace like went on ahead because like he didn't know where he was going, and then he ends up finding the spot, and he ends up finding these fake rebels. And
they protect the village in exchange for unlimited food and water. So they hear that pirates are coming, and they're like, okay, let's go, because we're not really strong or anything. We're just pretending to be. And Ace gets there and finds them, and he says, I'll deal with the pirates for you if you give me supplies and water. So Ace takes all the supplies and reaches the crew and tells them what happened. And Vivi's like, well, we can't just let these people take advantage of these villagers like this. So she decides that they're going to teach them a lesson. The rebels hear about the Straw Hats, and I think that's part of the plan, right?
Yes,
like the villagers somehow know that the Straw Hats have a bounty on them.
Yes.
And that they're super dangerous. So they tell the rebels, like, hey, guys, you need to take care of this for us, right? Because that's why you're here. And when they're trying to make a run for it, the fake rebels, and
the whole village follows them.
Yeah, the whole village is following them. And when they go outside, the Straw Hats, at least all the guys, are waiting for them, like looking super badass.
Yeah.
Like, super
very
mean.
Fearsome.
Yeah.
Even Chopper's in like the
Chopper,
man form.
Yeah, exactly. And Usopp's like, really serious. And I'm like, whoa, Usopp, if I didn't know anything about you, I'd be scared.
Yeah, I mean, I would be too. Like, you just hear they have $1 million bounties, and just sort of like, well, this is not good. Yep. The Straw Hats pushed them, and I would even say like Luffy went pretty. Oh, I think this is a good idea. Like where Luffy punches, like legitimately punches one of the guys, like the leader guy.
Yeah.
The fake rebel guys, they're wondering if they should run, because like, can they handle these guys and just have egg on their face? Doesn't matter, run with their lives, or should they try something to, save face? And then this is the part that like actually got me emotional. I wasn't expecting this to get me emotional. I was like, it's a filler episode. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. But it got me somehow. Like where the fake rebel guy, like he's Camus, I guess, right? Like he's thinking about, he's looking at like some kids that are like following along and cheering him on, right? And he thinks back to when he and his friends were kids and they used to look up to the strongest warriors in Alabasta back then. He's like, I don't want to let these kids down. Like, it just hits him somehow really hard, like, where it's like, I can't let these kids down. Like, I know I'm not strong and I'm probably going to die here, but maybe if I at least, put my life on the line here, I can be a hope for these kids. And, that sort of gets him, like, stronger, like, it gives him some energy, like, some confidence to do something, which somehow got me. It's simple. It's a simple concept, but it hit me where I was like, I want to be like that. I want to be something that kids look up to, and even if I can't do something, it's more like hopefully like I inspire others to like maybe finish the fight or something like that,
Aww,
so
that's nice.
Yeah, which shocked me. Like, 'cause I remember I was when I first watched it, like back in college, I was washing dishes. And then, like, I started crying, and then my roommate came in at the door, and then I was like, soap water got in my eyes, or I don't know. That was strange. I don't know.
No, but that's nice. I mean, it is a good lesson about taking responsibility for what you're doing.
Yeah.
And if you're going to be an example, that it should be an example of something good, not of
cowardice.
Bad. Yeah.
Exactly. It was really nice. It was beautiful because their leaders stood up, the rest of them stood up, and they actually acted like true heroes. Weak, yeah, but they did what they could. And they hit Luffy. Then the rest of the Straw Hats were like, okay, that's good enough. So then they did a retreat, which was nice. I was like, good on you guys.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely was good on them.
Yes.
So, yeah, Vivi signals them and they leave, and Chopper is riding Zoro's head really horribly.
Yeah. I could use a plush like that. Nice episode, short episode. I enjoyed it, and also it just sort of gave me a little more insight into Vivi's mind, where it was like, she's really looking out for individuals in individual cities, like whereas like, okay, I can't do too much overall, but it's like, let me see what I can do wherever I go, which I do appreciate personally. And then also we want to give a little plug and shout out to one of our other partners, Bandai Namco. So Bandai Namco Entertainment released One Piece World Secret back in March, and a new free update just came out actually, where you can have some new skins. I was about to say like what the skin was. It's a raid skin. That's all I'll say. It won't mean anything to you, but for everyone else that's caught up to what just happened in Whole Cake Island, you will see that Luffy gets a raid skin, which is pretty neat. You get a cape and everything. And also it has new challenges, it has new outfits, and it even has a new photo mode, so you can take all the pictures you want with your new skins. And if you haven't played it yet, be sure to check it out. It's on PS4, Xbox, PC, whatever you can think of. It's out there, and it's available now.
Moving on to episode 100.
Woo!
Episode 100, Rebel Warrior Kosa. The dream vowed to Vivi.
You made it to 100 episodes.
100 episodes!
Oh my god. Woo! Man, that's crazy. Yeah, good on you. I'm so proud. Like this for me, I was like, you did it. I'm so proud.
Only 700 and what to go?
Actually, at this point, 800 episodes ago.
That's okay.
I believe in you.
I can do it.
I believe in you. Like, there's gonna be a point soon where you're just like, okay, I watched everything last night. Like I just got so hooked and I couldn't stop.
Yeah, Godswill, I am caught up.
There you go. I'm like, there we go. I mean, I'll be like, wow. Usually it takes like a week, but you did in one day. Sweet. There's gonna be that moment. I think at the end of this whole. At the end of this anniversary day, I think you're going to be hooked for yourself. But we're going to see.
I think so, too.
Good. I hope so. That makes you so happy.
So this is sort of a flashback episode. The crew
As a kid, I never stopped.
The crew is still making their way across the desert. It's been a long way. And Vivi starts explaining to Nami, more about the rebels and how the war really came to be, sort of. So yeah. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So we get to see 11 years ago when Vivi was a kid. Like I would say about like 9 or so.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty nice to also see like we have like semi-adult characters. Yeah. I mean, pretty adult. 20 or so, right?
Yeah, young adult.
Yes, which is nice. Yeah. Like I'm like I barely feel adult and I'm 27. Yeah, we got to see them like as they were kids, and we even see Vivi like was a little bit of a snot-nosed brat, like where so first what happens is back in the castle, like people were still having issues, of course, well, like not to like the larger extent they're having now. We see one other kid named Kota and his dad. They go to the king asking for asylum of sorts. And the kid, Kota, like he's very impudent, like that has no real respect for the king, but his dad is like, stop that, like give some respect to the king. He's doing everything he can. But a good back and forth, like where a lot of officials are like, how dare you? But the king is like, no, this is valid. These are valid issues. Let me see what I can do. And then the boy, like he's still mad by everything, but then he runs out crying. And then Vivi makes fun of him. Where I was just like, geez.
Super mean.
I know, right? I was like, geez. Like, you don't know anything that just happened to him, but whatever, right? Which causes them to fight. And then as they're fighting, all the officials are like, oh my God, how dare you lay hands on the princess. Exactly, right? But the king is like, hey man, just chill.
Yeah,
they're kids. Exactly, right? And the funny thing is we see them actually like spar or fight for real. Both Kota and Vivi fight in front of the gangs, I guess, like the kid gangs, which is pretty cool, and it works out because Vivi gets the respect of Kota and also all the other kids, the boys and the girls of the area, which is I think ideal, versus seeing like a spoiled royalty. She's a part of people. Yeah,
and she ends up like just running around with a normal kid.
Yeah.
Although she does have like Igaram and her dad.
Following her around.
Without her seeing. I bet she can see them.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, they're not doing the best job of hiding, but at the same time, it was endearing. Where it's like, oh, I don't think I would follow my kids like that. But who knows? Maybe I would. Maybe I'd be. I wonder if, like, when I become a dad, like, how protective or hovering would I be?
I wonder the same thing. If I ever decide.
Yeah.
A very big if.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's fair. I think it's different for our generation for sure.
Yeah.
And I see in anime, like, either you're a crappy dad, like, you don't care about your kids at all, right? It's like, I'm gonna be a pirate and I'm gonna do what I want. Like, or, whatever. I don't, like, what? I have a son? Oh, well, sucks to be him. Yeah. Like, One Piece, we've seen plenty of bad dads. Or, even the dads take their kids as hostages and beat them up, right? So, even worse, neglectful or abusive. Or, you could take this third route and be too protective. Mm-hmm. I think I'd rather be too protective. But then again, I do wonder, like, what I'm going to do in when it's my time. Who knows, right? We will see. Anyway, it's pretty endearing to see Cobra and Ikram go after their daughter.
Yeah. And then suddenly some bandits come in and they want to kidnap Vivi.
Oh, my goodness.
And the rest of the clan protect her, even though they're just kids.
Yes.
Facing these two adults. For
real, I was like big adults, and I was like, yeesh. I mean, good on them for trying.
Yeah.
Although at the same time, like, it made me. Have you seen? There's this meme that at least I see every now on the internet, like, where it's like, how many fifth graders could you take on? And so,
what?
Yeah. Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, like, it's like, how many fifth grade kids can you take on at a time?
I think just one.
Yeah. Because, like, I was thinking to myself, I was like, at least these kids have weapons. How come they, like, like, don't get me wrong. It's like, I think I could take on a few kids at a time.
Yeah.
Like, maybe like 4.
Yeah?
I think so. Oh, yeah. I think, if I was to go full force.
We did not condone violence.
No, especially not against kids. But when you have to, all right? Just saying, just in case, you never know.
What if they're like zombies, 5th grade?
Exactly, right? Exactly. Zombie 5th grade kids, and they're fast zombies, all right? Not the slow shambling
not
ones.
Exactly.
Zombies. You got to go full force. You gotta in the head, all right? So it doesn't match that here. Say you were the bandits and you had to go full force against some 5th graders, right? And I was thinking to myself, how many could take on at a time, especially if they had weapons and clubs, right? Mm-hmm. I was like, maybe 4. So, like...
These are a lot of kids.
True. That's why I was like, wow, these are some tough adults, honestly. Although at the same time, I was like, kids, come on now. Do better.
Yeah.
You guys fight and have weapons.
Aren't you trying to protect your princess?
Exactly, right? And you let her get taken away. Shame on you. Shame. I mean, good on you for doing what you did, but come on, y'all. It's one thing if you guys we're the mathematics club, and, not saying the mathematics club don't work out. They might be brawny too. Who knows? But Vivi get taken, and then luckily Coda went to go save her. There's a third guy that came through, and Coda wanted to go save Vivi.
Yeah.
Or at the same time, for me, I was like, yo, this is like a lot bigger than just playing around the park or something like that, And she got kidnapped, Mm-hmm. And she's royalty. Go talk to some adults. Come on, y'all. But anyways, Coda does a cool thing. He goes after the leader of these kidnappers and fights him. Actually hits him. Does he beat him up?
I don't think he beats him up.
Okay, I think he got a good hit, if anything.
He gets a hit.
Yeah, so he gets cut in the eye. Luckily not on his eye, but like he gets a pretty cool scar on his eye.
Yeah.
And he does actually like give some time for like the king and Igaram to come through and save the day.
Yes.
Man, what a situation.
I know. So then, at the end of the episode, we see that this same kid is actually now the rebel leader, and and he is now Vivi's childhood friend. So drama.
Yeah, this complicates things, So now we're on the way. So I guess
that's why she really wants to go talk to the rebels.
Yes.
Because she actually knows personally the leader.
Which is
good.
She's
not just a random, I'm your princess, let me talk to you.
Yeah, right? Like, I would have been like, that's dumb, Vivi. Like, as much as I can. Which is nice.
And that's the end of this episode.
That's the end of that episode. So yeah, let's take a small break, and then we'll get right back to it. So welcome back to One Piece at a Time. My name is Godswill and Ugwa. My mission statement is to be able to take on more than 5 fifth graders at a time if they come at me. 100%. Gotta get ready.
Oh my god.
I told you I gotta get cut like Kobe. Then I told you I gotta get cut like Chopper. Now I gotta get cut enough to take on more than 5 fifth graders at a time. You never know.
We have similar missions.
What's your mission statement?
Well, my name is Josellie M. Rios, and this week I am going to do some Ugong routine.
There we
to
go.
Find more than one fifth grader.
There we go. Oh, wow. I'm so proud of you. Gotta get on that new workout plan, the Dugong plan.
Dugong plan.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's
Left,
right.
punch. Right punch.
I would buy a tie bow thing from the Dugongs. There we go. Someone needs to get on that. Oh my goodness.
And they were so like in sync.
Yes.
Like,
Whook. Whatcha? Yeah, right? It's like, dang,
and
okay.
Luffy's like, no, like this.
Like
and
this.
They'll,
Ah.
I need to be able to face more than one fifth grader. I mean,
I think you could.
yeah.
I think you could.
2-year-old woman.
Yeah, you could do it. I believe in you. By the end of this year, we're gonna get there, right? You teach me how to swim better, and I teach you how to take on more than one fifth grader at a time, right?
Yes.
I'll even send out a few fifth graders at you. Go.
just randomly.
Right.
Suddenly 5.
She has Chuck E. Cheese coins. Get her. You can do something nice by watching all of One Piece on Funimation Now. You can watch all the episodes on Funimation.com/One Piece and the Funimation Now app, so check that out. And then also check out our blog, funny.to/One Piece Podcast for all the information on the One Piece podcast. And you can find out the binge routes, you can find the information on the characters, and I'm one of these days going to put up the map, but I need to find it. But one of these days, mark my words, and you're going to be like, wow, Godzilla did by episode 15. I don't know.
I need it.
Yes, that's going to be my next mission statement. Put up the map. So now we are on episode 101, Showdown in the Heat Haze. Ace versus the Gallant Scorpion.
Ooh.
Yeah. Weird. Honestly, this is a filler episode.
Yeah?
Yeah, this is although it's not all the way filler.
I wanted to know,
yes.
I have a note here.
Yes.
Is this a filler episode?
Yes, and most of it is, but the end part is important.
Okay.
Yes. Which is weird.
Ooh.
It is weird. And for me, this filler, I was like, this one is okay, I guess. Personally.
Yeah, I wasn't that fond of it.
Yes.
Just because it didn't make a lot of sense.
No, that's
to
what
me.
I agree. I was just sort of like, wait, what? So apparently he is so famous, but he's not really famous, and it's just sort of okay. Anyways, we'll go through this really quickly. But anyways, actually, this is really hard to explain too, because I'm just sort of like, wait, what just happened?
What?
We see some random guy spying on Ace, right? Mm-hmm. And this crew, and he's trying to shoot him, but his companion, was it a bird?
Yes, it's an ostrich.
Yeah, ostrich. There we go. Yeah, I was like, what was this thing? Anyways, this thing is screwing him up. It's like a Wile E. Coyote type of deal. Yeah, where it's just eating his stuff. Yeah, just feel like, geez, man. Get with the program. Exactly, right? I was like, does this thing do anything for you? Because it's just screwed. I think you would have got him maybe a few times if you, hadn't got screwed up. Anyways, ostrich is messing him up. And so we're seeing some hijinks as the crew's walking along. And he wants to shoot Ace for some reason. Why do you want to shoot Ace? Ace is cool. And then also we see some random kids steal some food from the group, which, that's a huge no-no.
Especially in the desert.
Yeah, right, exactly. But everyone's like, oh, poor kids, they're hungry, Although one of them pulls out a gun on Ace.
Know.
Right? It's like, yo, dude. It's what you pull the gun after the fact. You know that? Well, it's back to the 5th grade problem, right?
Yeah.
It's like the boss battle 5th grader.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, one of those kids pulls out a gun on Ace because Ace sees them steal food, right? And they're like, no, I'm gonna shoot you. But then Ace does a cool thing where he blocks the bullet with a rock.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Although he really didn't need to do that. The bullet would just went through him. Anyways, if I had the power to do that, I'd probably stunt like that too. If I have Ace powers and the power to deflect a bullet with a rock, I'm gonna do both.
That's some aim.
I know, right? I would totally do that. Although, yes. there's no reason for that anyways. So then the kids are like, wow, you're tough, man. Can we hire you to go find somebody for us? So they're like, go find our dad. It's like, oh, that's deep.
And their dad is the same guy, like the guy who's looking for Ace.
Yes.
So I'm like, boy, he's right there.
You're right.
He's following Ace.
Exactly.
How did you just lose him?
Exactly. And apparently Ace was looking for this guy too. And it's just like, well, can't people just communicate?
Yeah.
Hey, Ace, I'm right here.
Yeah.
Hey, you're the guy I'm looking for. Dad, that's where you are. Hey, kids, how's it going? Hey, you're the kid's dad? Yeah. I've been looking for you this whole time.
End of the episode.
There we go, right? But no, we gotta have an anime episode where it's, oh no, we didn't know.
So how did Luffy end up hanging with the bounty hunter that's looking for Ace? I don't remember.
I don't remember that part either, like where like he
sort of gets, I don't remember if he wanders off again.
Yeah.
But he ends up
also, you gotta put a leash. You gotta put a leash
you,
on freaking Luffy at this point.
Oh my god, you definitely need to.
Golly, like it's like down boy down, because holy crap.
Like one of those for my dog. I have one of those retractable ones.
Yeah.
For when we go, to the to trail.
Yeah.
And
you go out a little bit.
I want to give her some space.
Exactly, right.
Around. So I use that one. That's the one that Luffy needs.
Exactly, like
just hold it.
Give that to Sanji because he's strong enough,
exactly.
right? And then, or give that to Zoro if he wants to train. Just be like, okay, 1, 2, 3, right?
And then he can pull Luffy back.
Exactly, and then give Chopper to Sanji or somebody. I don't know, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh well. Anyways.
I feel that's something we need to communicate.
Absolutely, right? Anyways, yeah. For some reason, Luffy's hanging out with the bounty hunter. Ace is hanging out with the kids.
Mm-hmm.
They all meet, and they're like, they have the whole conversation. It's like, hey, that's our dad. Hey, I'm here to kill you, Ace, or capture you. And hey, you're the guy I've been meaning to find. Ace has been looking for the bounty hunter because apparently he heard that he fought against Blackbeard and did a good job. And Ace this whole time has been looking for Blackbeard. That's why he's in Alabasta in the first place. And then the kids have been looking for their dad. And then their dad has been. And then we see a flashback where it's like the dad, it was a potato farmer. Hasn't been doing too well. And then he also his big dream was to be a bounty hunter. And then his kids are like, man, Dad should just do that instead of being lame, like supporting his family. Why would he do that?
Why would he?
Yeah, Dad's such a square. I don't know. And then, so then their dad's like, fine, I'm gonna go do what I've been wanting to do anyways. I didn't want to have you boys anyways.
Yeah.
No, he's not like that, but still. Overall, like I was like, this is a dumb conversation. It's like, why?
Yeah, he pretends to be a bounty hunter to show the kids that dreams can come true, but he's not a real bounty hunter.
He's not a bounty hunter.
He's not good at it.
No.
He's not good at fighting.
Exactly. It's like legit some Looney Tunes type of stuff that goes on with these guys.
Yeah.
I mean, semi-smart ideas, but at the same time, like where he, shoots out a net and like, so like him and Ace fight, right? Yeah. They actually have a fight, but Ace is clowning.
It's a guitar, let me tell you.
Yeah.
It's not the tin 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 tin. It's not that one. Yeah. It's like an acoustic guitar of sorts, and I'm like, interesting.
I did notice the song too.
I did.
Good.
I'm guessing because I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, good.
It's Ace, or because it's not an important battle. I don't know.
I don't know.
Not the usual music.
Yes.
I was surprised.
Yes.
Because I always expect din 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 din.
I love that song, by the way. I got that song on my iPhone. Like, whenever I need to do something badass and I gotta put on the bear down on myself. Dun, 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 dun. Anyways. We're going to have a karaoke episode one of these days. Maybe that should be like our special episode.
Yeah.
People just tell me what songs to sing. I can't wait for you till you see more songs too. Yes.
Yes.
I'd be super down. If people say that on the comments, I'll do it. So anyways, Ace is clowning this guy. Isn't like really doing too much or isn't scared about anything and shows him like, yeah, you can't take me on. So then the kids were like, stop fighting him, Dad. He's too tough for you. You're not that strong, Dad. It's like, geez. Like, I felt, thank you. I practiced. So, I felt a little bad. I was like, dang, like your kids are clowning you right in front of, these guys. Then again, at the same time, they're speaking nothing but facts.
They are.
Yeah, and
he
then
was sucking at it.
yes, absolutely. So then he drops his gun like a absolute dunce. Like you don't drop your bazooka. Didn't we not learn about the cannon? Like where you don't do blunt force to things that can explode.
Right.
Yes. So he drops his cannon. The cannon rolls down a hill and triggers and shoots an explosion that blows up some rocks. But Ace saves them.
Yeah.
Luckily.
Before it all falls on them and tramples them.
Yeah. And then that's when he learned the real things. Like, you know what? I should go take care of my kids. I should be a responsible dad. I don't need to be like the rest of these dads in One Piece. I'm better than that. You're right. I'm not a fighter. I'm a father.
Yeah. So Ace decides that he's going to leave because he was actually trying to find this guy because he might lead him to Blackbeard, I think.
Yes.
And since there's no threat there anymore, well, then he's just leaving. And he gives Luffy a blank piece of paper in case Luffy wants to find him, which is very cryptic.
Yes.
Why a blank piece of paper?
All I will say is that this is an important piece of paper, and also it's called a Viver card.
Oh.
That's all I'll say.
Okay.
But yeah, that's otherwise. Yeah, this part is important, but that's it. Yeah, you wouldn't have guessed because it's just sort of like, okay, it's in the middle of all this filler, right?
Yeah.
But it is important, and also funny enough, a similar thing happens in the next episode.
So, speaking of the next episode, it's episode 102. Ruins and Lost Ways, Vivi, her friends, and the countries form. So, what's happening? Luffy and Chopper are struggling in the desert again. Like, I feel that that's all they do in this arc.
I know, right?
All they do is struggle through the desert.
I know, right?
Because there's not enough water. Luffy's always hungry. He's like, I need food.
I know, right?
And Sanji's like, no, we need to ration.
Right, yeah, like I feel bad for everyone else. Like if it isn't Luffy getting lost, is Luffy doing something dumb that screws him up for time, right? And it's just like, golly, you guys need...
Yeah, I feel it's like a horrible case of are we there yet?
Yes, absolutely. And like, but there's no music. There's no wind or like over on the way. It's like we're just walking slowly in the hot sun, and you hear Usopp and Luffy most of the time bitching and moaning, like, I'm so hungry, and are you guys hungry too? I'm hungry. We should eat that one bit of food. Or can we get that drink? And he's like, can I ride the camel? He's like, golly, stop. Like, it's horrible here. So then Luffy, once again, gets high on desert cactus.
I don't know. He's sort of doing it on purpose. He's enjoying it.
He's bored and he's addicted. Drugs are bad, not even once, y'all. All right? That's what I learned this episode. And then, it's poor Zoro. Like, I feel bad for Zoro this whole time. Like, because he's having to be the babysitter of Luffy and Chopper. Although Chopper's a nice boy. And it's like, at least Chopper, it makes sense. Boy. It's fair.
Yes.
But, yeah, overall, this all sucks. So, the episode starts with them being lost. And then we see in a little flashback that Luffy was high again. Went crazy, started fighting Zoro. The rest of them left him. They're like, oh, they'll find us in the footprints. And it was like, wait a second, y'all. Did we not learn? Yeah, like, first of all, the desert. Vivi, do you not know better? Come on. Third of all, didn't we do this before?
Yeah.
Didn't we get lost before? And we said, we'll find the footprints. And then we didn't know where the footprints were?
No footprints because the sand moves.
Oh my God.
Sand.
I know, right? I was like, that seems like common sense. You know, you, Nami, and Vivi, come on, y'all. Y'all are supposed to be the smart ones. If Usopp said this, I'd have been like, sure. I could get that, you know? Sanji said that, sure. Fine. Yeah. But not Vivi and Nami. Anyways. Zoro has to go fist fight Luffy to calm him down.
Yeah.
Pretty funny. And then Chopper falls in the sand and passes out. Oh, poor boy.
He's so tired.
Poor guy. But I did like what happened like after the fact where they're like, why do we do this? Why do we follow Luffy?
Yeah, Zoro and Chopper are wondering about their decisions. I wonder sometimes too about their decisions.
Yeah, right. Everybody, I'm just like, geez, this sounds tougher than everything else. But Zoro had like pretty good insight, I would say, about like what their individual teamwork means. You know, like what does it mean for them to be on the same team? And it's not really for them to be like of the same mind or even have the same goals, really, but to support each other and their individual efforts and to work together to accomplish each other's goals, which is really nice.
Yes. Yeah, that's a very good conclusion that Zoro gets to, where he, you know, everybody should do as best as they can individually.
Yes.
And then that'll contribute to, you know,
the whole team effort.
And that's what teamwork is.
Yes.
Although at first I was a bit confused when he started, you know, making his point about teamwork is you work together individually, and I'm like,
yeah, no, I know what you mean. I know what you mean, but I think it will make a little more sense later on in this arc, where it's like everyone doing their part. You know, maybe, you know, even separately.
Yeah, once he explains it a little bit, it makes sense.
Because I think I felt the same way too, where I was like, is that really how it goes? Isn't it supposed to be working together? But it makes sense to me. It's one of those things that sort of hits me later on after I think about it like 300 times, like believe in a meetup, believes in you. That doesn't make any sense, but it makes a lot of sense later on. Anyways, so they keep going, and then they fall through a cave. Yes, and I would say this is the important part.
Yeah.
It doesn't like did it seem important to you or not?
When they fall through the floor.
Yeah.
No. Did something important happen then?
Semi. You won't understand it yet, but like I'll say
they fall through the floor.
Yes.
And then Luffy and Chopper follow.
Yes.
It's hilarious because Luffy throws himself on purpose, and I think that Chopper does.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I'm coming.
Let's go, right? Yeah. And then Luffy doesn't want to leave.
Because it's got shade in
I know, right? And I was like, you little boy, please get up now. Oh my gosh.
And then he does a gum pistol.
Yes. Yeah.
And he does his usual, catapults everybody out
yes.
of the cave.
Like he's trying to catch like the hole of the like where they fell, but like it's too small and he ends up breaking it more, and he can't grab onto anything. So what he does, while they're in the cave, they see something important. Like they see like these stone blocks, like with strange writing on it that they don't understand, and that's important.
Oh yes, that's true. They do see some strange writing.
But that's it. That's all I'll say right now.
Oh.
It is important, but and I think we'll understand more about that at the end of this arc. But yeah, all I'll say is like that. That's an important detail to not forget, and because I mean I was shocked. I was like, they found it here. What do you know? And so what happens is, to get out of this cave, Luffy does like this slingshot that just grabs all of them. Like he spins himself around this pillar, and then like he spins all of them out. Like I'm like,
that's
yeah. I was like, poor Chopper and Zoro. Like
like if they've been wondering if they should have joined
this
crew or not. This was going to the not.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I was
you're
like,
going a pros and cons list.
Yeah, I was like, Luffy isn't that bad, and it's like,
on the con list.
Here we go. Right, exactly. Right. It was like I could have died.
Luffy's escape methods.
Right. It's like, how many times has he catapulted himself or others into dangerous areas? We're not all like you, man. Luckily, it worked out. So like they catapult out of that area, and
meanwhile Nami, Sanji, and Vivi they just kept going without the rest of the people.
Yeah.
And they reached some ruins as they're getting close to Ugwa, and Vivi's wondering like what makes up a country. Like she's been wondering about all these things that she's trying to take care of and that she's preoccupied for. Because she's preoccupied not only about her country, like she's worried about Luffy, she's worried about the others having to fight for her. Like she's got all these things on her mind, and she wonders what does make up my country? Is it my past? Is it culture? Is it tradition? Is it the weather? Is it what are the things that I can control, and what are the things that I protect, and what are the things that I just let go of?
Yes, that's a lot, but for me, at least, it makes me like her in a sense of at least she cares about these things.
Yeah, me too. I mean, at least she reflects on it. She tries to constantly analyze herself and try and be better, I think, which is a very good trait. I don't think it's as common as it should be.
Yes.
A lot of people just think that they're right all the time.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. That actually poses my next question. This week, the podcast question I just asked, since we're deep in the Alabasta arc now, right, and we've had to see what Vivi's been dealing with this whole time, do you think that she's a good leader? And the reason I asked this question especially is because I would see people complain, Vivi's crying again. And I'm like, is that really fair? Is that really fair to ask that, or to say that? Because for me, I was like,
she cried a lot.
I personally, I don't think so.
I think she's cried the right amount of tears.
Personally, that's what I was thinking. Where I was
she's rather a lot, honestly.
Yeah, I was like, you see your country going through civil war, and either you don't care, or are you just stoic about this the whole time? I don't know, right? But I wanted to pose a question to you guys, so I posted this question on our social media channels, which is the One Piece official page on Facebook, and then One Piece anime page on Twitter, and got some good answers. David on Facebook said, I mean, she has a good heart and good head on her shoulder and is caring. She's still young and not exactly the leader, but she's trying to learn what she can so that she can be a good leader, which is good. I think she is trying to be a good leader, right? And then Ian said, at the time, no. During this arc, at this time, no. But she's still very young and naive, but she means well. But with that, I have a lot of respect for this arc because after I watched it, I can truly look back on it and say this is when I was totally hooked on One Piece, and it was partly because of how good this particular arc was. And I agree. Bryce says she has untapped potential. Alabasta was just the tip of the iceberg. We hope that we get to see what she does later on. And then on Twitter, Gob on a Stick says she couldn't have done a better job, actually. Gob thinks that she couldn't have done a better job, which I think is pretty cool. And then Visory Davinger, sorry if I messed up your name, I most likely did, is I like this old school Vivi. And the fact that she went undercover with a dangerous group, all to try to save her kingdom, makes her a great leader. Yeah, so, a lot of good people, we did get quite a few negatives. Some people were like, she cried too much, she was annoying.
That was a good point. She is a princess. She doesn't need to do that herself.
Yeah, some OG, yeah exactly, right? You send in a spy guy to do that, right?
And and that's dangerous.
Yeah.
She put herself in danger to try and help her country. So I think that's good leadership.
Yeah. Well, I thank you guys very much for answering that question. If you are on our pages, follow us on Twitter, which is the One Piece anime page, and then follow us on Facebook, which is the One Piece official page. And we will be posting podcast questions usually a day or two before Tuesday when we release new podcast episodes. So check that out and, might be able to call it your name. Thank you to everyone that participated and, a lot of good answers all the time. Episode 103, Spider's Cafe at 8 o'clock. The enemy's leaders gather. Yeah, so now we get back to the canon stuff. We just got through some filler aspects, and now we get to see more about the Baroque Works leadership. Yeah.
Yes, on this episode is basically all about Baroque Works, and we see their elite force, sorta.
Yes. Yeah. So the top 4 people, excluding Mr. Zero, they're supposed to go meet Mr. Zero to hear the final plans. So they all meet at this cafe. So before we actually go there, when we see Nami taking care of the Viva card that Ace gave to Luffy, right?
Right. Yeah, she does something super smart. Because obviously Luffy was gonna lose.
Obviously.
piece of paper.
I mean, to be honest,
so
right?
If it's super important.
I was happy that like he did take care of it, like, you know, like where like at least he's like, this is important. Ace gave it to me. I don't know what it is, but it's important. But luckily, Nami does this and is like, here, I'm gonna take care of this, so we don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, so she sews it into his hat.
Yeah, interesting.
Which is smart.
Yeah, interesting. So then,
he'll never lose the hat.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm pretty happy that she did that. So then now we go to the cafe, the Spider's Cafe. So it's just this random diner. And like we see this random blue-haired chick looking pretty nice. You know, like, but, you know, people are coming into this cafe. So the Spider's Cafe, where we first see Mr. Four and Mrs. Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So very different pairing. Mr. Four is this big slow guy like who doesn't speak a lot. He's like, oh.
Yeah, or he speaks like super slow. And then Mrs. Merry Christmas is super fast. It's like,
we gotta get here right now. What are we doing right now? We gotta go.
You're going too slow.
Why are you going too slow? Every time I told you, la 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 la, it's like, jeez, I'm tired by both these guys. Exactly, right? Right, and then we get to see Mr. Two. Right,
He's rehearsing a dance.
Oh my gosh!
Shoes. And I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
Basically, that's the base of everything. Just
pretty shoes and mascara.
And you can build up from there.
I learned something new. There we go. That was funny, like how he's having his whole crew dance.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Making them practice the
dance.
Like,
you better practice while I'm out. It's like, okay. Then again, I do wonder, like, how deep, you know, like, pirate subordinates go, you know, for their people. Like, are they just like, I do this because I get paid? Or do I do this because, like, yeah, I'm all about pretty shoes and mascara,
exactly,
right?
Are they really up for dancing, which is cool too.
Yeah, exactly, right?
You want to dance?
Like, I didn't want to be a pirate, I just want to dance. But, you know, every now and then we shoot and kill people and steal.
Yeah, I mean, if I have to choose a crew, if I'm
do I choose the cats?
I'm like,
right.
Who do I choose?
Like, I do like cats.
I do like cats. Yeah. I'm not a cook.
Right.
I like to dance.
Do you want to be cool with being a clown? I'm not sure. I guess I'll join the dance ones, right?
So we see that Mr. One is being mobilized to catch Mr. Three.
Mm-hmm.
And Mr. Three is actually there. We see him outside the window, like lurking.
You're right. It's like, well, good on him, honestly. He's staying alive.
He's alive.
Yeah, right.
He didn't know where he was this whole time.
That's true, because he just got punched in Little Garden, right? Mm-hmm. And then, so that wasn't like a death punch of anything. So, yeah, he's there. So pretty much everyone is legitimately there. Yes. Although Mr. 1 and Mr. 2, like, we see that they don't really like each other. Yeah. Like, they all are fighting.
Yeah, so. I think it's because, and this they don't say this or anything, but I think it's because since they're ranked by numbers, I mean, unless you can prove you're better than the one before, then you're still number 2.
That's true.
So that's probably why they don't like each other.
That's true. That's a good point. Well, for me, I'd be like, hey, I'm a number. Cool. I don't care about y'all.
All right. Top 10.
Yeah, right? Yeah, exactly, right? Although, yeah, I mean, Mr. 11 got wiped out. And we actually got to learn a little bit earlier in this this whole series, like the way that they get ranked. So, like, Mr. 6, yeah, so, like, it's, like, always a male Mr. number with a female companion who is, like, a Miss All Sunday or Miss Wednesday or whatever, which is, they also have random names, too, by the way. Like, because at first I thought this was a pattern, and we eventually meet Mr. 1's partner, Miss Doublefinger. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm just like, what does that mean?
Yeah, that's not holiday.
I was like, what does that mean?
Day of the week.
I know, right? And also, I mean, I'm even thinking, like, what is All Sunday? I don't know. It is what it is. Anyways, but we learned that 6 through 11, the Misters, they are more fundraising, fundraising and information gathering, and then Mr. 5 to Mr. 1 are the muscle. Yeah, and then we have the millions and billions. And apparently the billions are next in line to become Mr. Weird. I don't know. Weird numbering, but that's Baroque works for you. People aren't supposed to know about that. So, yeah, and we also see Mr. 1 and Mr. 2 fight. And we see Mr. 2 dancing his way in his battle, which is pretty funny.
Yeah, his battle moves are dance moves.
Yes. Oh man, I can't wait till we get to see like him go all the way out. And then we see Mr. 1's partner, who is the shop owner, stop them from fighting, and she reveals herself to be Miss Doublefinger, so Mr. 1's partner. And none of the other people knew that, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, because they don't know each other. That's part of how Baroque Works operates. Like, they don't know what the other guys' names are or how they look like until they
also they don't know the boss. Yeah. Which is crazy. It's sort of good, because, everyone just answers to the boss, but at the same time, I imagine that would just sort of make things easier for working. I don't know. Whatever. It seems like it's been working out so far. But then they all learn that they are meeting so they can go meet Mr. Zero to hear his final plan. And they all know who Mr. Zero is, but they don't know who Mr. Zero is. They know his face, but they don't know him. Yeah. And then we go back to the crew, and they finally make it to Yuba. Yeah. Yay! Finally made it.
Made it somewhere.
Oh no, it's destroyed. So we also get like a semi-flashback of like, this is where Kota and his father went after the whole flashback to go found a town, Kota's dad would become mayor of Yuba, and it was supposed to be a very happening spot, but it has been destroyed by sandstorms. Yeah. So, and we see Kota's dad digging for water because it's been covered up by sandstorms, and he's a shell of what he used to be. Like, he used to be the big jovial guy, and now he's a skinny old man, but he's still trying, which is really nice.
Yeah, he tries every day, even though a sandstorm hits every day.
Dang, I was like, that sucks.
He shovels every day.
That sucks.
And then he tells the crew that the rebels are no longer there, which was the whole reason that they went to Yuba in the first place.
And apparently the rebels are the opposite way where they were. In fact, they would, if they had just talked to Chopper and the Camel Eyelashes, they would have found out that they could have went that way straight to the rebels. And it's like, Chopper. Oh my god, yeah, I feel like Chopper had some. One way I don't want to blame Chopper, but at the same time I'm like, Chopper, you were taken there. Yes. You heard their plans.
You saw this camel again.
Exactly, right?
You've been reminded about that.
Exactly, right? But, oh well. It is what it is. Anyways.
So they have to leave. They're like, okay.
Yeah, what do we do now?
Well, what do we do now?
But they're like, let's get some rest since we're here and this place has some good inns. And we see... this is taking a toll on Vivi because she's sad that, like, Yuba is transformed to this ghost town. That Kota's dad is a shell of who he used to be. There's no water anywhere, and everyone's hurting. So, it is a sad thing, but it's good to see like Vivi's reaction to it.
Yeah, I feel like this whole time we've been, how many episodes? 8 episodes since we reached Alabasta.
Yeah.
And we continue the setup of this whole, how dire the country's situation really is. Like, every city or every place that we visit is just destroyed, or there's something awful going on. So we really see that the situation is truly very desperate.
Absolutely. Well, that's the end of this podcast episode, and that's the end of this episode, right? I'm surprised we made it already. Yeah. So, what do you think is going to happen in the future?
I don't know. I mean, the battle for Alabasta is heating up. Like I said, we had a lot of setup.
Yes.
And now we just saw that all of Baroque Works is gathering for their grand finale of making this plan for taking over this country, take it to its last stage. So, I mean, it's been 8 episodes since we got here. I need to have a fight.
Yes.
So I want a showdown to go down.
I like that. Showdown to go down. There we go.
Showdown to go down.
There we go. Well, that's that, and hope that you enjoyed this episode of One Piece at a Time. Don't forget to check us out on the Funimation blog, which is funi.to/One Piece podcast, where we have information on the episodes that came out. We have One Piece character synopsises, so like videos where we did a one-on-one series on each of the characters, and then we are gonna put up the map one of these days. I believe it. You sent me a map.
I sent you a map.
Yes, so I'm gonna put up that map. Yeah, of Alabasta, because that's like the first official one that we got, and I still need to figure out like where. I actually looked it up. I tried finding where the other map is, like the first map that we saw when they're going on Reverse Mountain.
Yes.
When I find that map, I'm gonna post it.
I think I know where it is.
Okay, if you remember, if you got it, please send it to me, and I will post that ish.
Yes.
I'll post it. I promise you. And also, if you want to find that map yourself, or if you want to just watch these episodes on DVD, we got you on the Funimation shop. Go to Funimation.com/shop and add One Piece to your home video collection. We got movies, we got TV specials, we got this show. Check it out.
And for all things One Piece, follow us on Facebook at One Piece Official and Twitter at One Piece Anime.
Yeah.
We also want to thank all the people who make this podcast happen, the creator of One Piece, Oda Sensei, Toei Animation, our fabulous audio engineers, and of course everyone joining us on this journey, all you Straw Hats out there listening. So please rate this podcast wherever you're listening to it, review it, and share it with other One Piece Nakamas.
Yeah. The next One Piece at a Time will cover anime episodes 104 to 111. So be sure to watch that on Funimation Now, sub or dub, however you choose, and get ready for it. See you guys later. Peace.
See ya.